This is a short video showing you how to format numbers, dates, and time. Okay, let's get started. When we key numbers in Microsoft Excel, we type them in the general number format, which means we don't do anything. We just simply type our numbers. This is the general number format. If I would like my numbers to display as currency or accounting or as a percentage, for instance, I'm going to choose to format them instead of typing the $ or typing the percentage symbol. Let me show you how this is done. You select your range of cells. Notice that I'm selecting cells that don't have a number in. That's just to let you know that I don't have to have cells in Excel to format them. It's a choice. Type the numbers and then format, or format the cell range and then type the numbers. So to apply currency style, I could drop down on the number format list, and you see a lot of the different styles. Number, currency, accounting. When we get to dates and time, they're there. Or I can launch the Format Cells dialog box on the Number tab. Now I'm choosing to do it this way because I can show you all of the ins and outs. I select currency. It shows a sample. The default is to have 2 decimal places and the $. If I'm working for another country or need another country's symbol, you can see I can go ahead and I can select the symbol for another country. I'm going to stay with the United States of America, so the US symbol. And then negative numbers. So by default, negative numbers will display in black text with a minus sign. If I want, I can display them in red, or parentheses around the number also indicates a negative number, or I could have it in red and parentheses. So if I choose to type a negative number, I'm going to have it display in parentheses and have the color turn red. You can hit OK. And you can see the $, 2 decimal places. And you don't see numbers displayed in red because I don't have a negative number. So let me just type a negative number for you. And that was the choice we made, displays in red. I'm going to select the range for accounting style. Again, the default 2 decimal places and the $. Hitting OK. So the difference between the accounting style and the currency style is really the placement of the $. The $ in the accounting style bumps up right against the left side of our cell. And in the currency style, we call this a floating $, because it floats next to the number. No matter what number I type, it's going to remain right next to the number. Comma styles next. And so we also have these symbols here. So for comma style, instead of launching the dialog box, I'm going to just click on comma style. And the default for comma style is just simply to put the comma as the thousand separator and then 2 decimal places. We can also increase or decrease the decimal as needed or as wanted. So if I didn't want decimal to display, I can hit that twice. If I want them, hit that again. Okay, next is percentage. Percentage, I won't have any numbers, so I'm going to just hit the percent sign here. 10%. I just have to type the 10, hit enter. Great time saver not having to type the percent sign. All good. Okay, so that's a little bit about number formatting. Let's move on to date and time formatting. So date and time formatting, I have another sheet here. You click on it. The first thing you're going to notice is I already have some dates in here. And very specifically, I've typed in the first date that Excel recognizes, and that's January 1st, 1900. The reason that's key is because dates are used in formulas, and so we do calculations with dates. So the first date that Excel recognizes, January 1st, 1900. And so the second date that I recognize, obviously they're going to be in sequential order. So you can see that I have January 10th, 1900. Then I've skipped. I have 12/31. So December 31st, 2019. January 1st, 2020. You see some dates more in the future, 2025 and 2049. Before I show you how to format dates, I want to show you what Excel sees. So dates are actually a number. So I'm selecting these. I'm going to go up to my number group, and I'm going to change these dates back to a general number. When I do this, you'll see them represented. The first date, January 1st, 1900, is represented by the number 1. January 2nd, 1900, the number 2. I fast forward to the date that was here, which was December 31st, 2019. That is always going to be represented by the number 43,830. And then we see the other dates in the future. I'm going to go ahead and click undo and bring them back to dates. This is key because when we add and subtract dates, it doesn't make sense when we see the date format. But if we know that dates are just numbers, easy to visualize subtracting two numbers, or adding two numbers, or dividing two numbers. And so really key that dates are just serial numbers in sequential order. So really important, when you type a date, you want to make sure you type it in a correct date format. So 1/5/19, correct date format. Numbers will always align on the right side of the cell. So if I accidentally key a number in an incorrect date format, let me do this for you. August 21st, 2019. I'm going to size column D here a little bit. What you're going to notice, August 21st, 2019, not a correct date format, and so it's aligned on the left. This would be problematic if we were using this date in a calculation. So when you're typing dates, it has to be a correct date format. What's wrong with this one? No comma. So I'm going to go up to the formula bar. After the 21, the day, comma, can hit enter. Now it recognizes as a correct date format. You also just notice that Excel took control of how we format, or how it formatted the date. If I don't like that format, if I want another format, I can choose that. So moving forward, when I'm typing in a date, I'm going to type it in the easiest way. And then I will have Excel format them later. So here's how you format dates. I'll just select my column of dates here. I'm going to launch the number group. Opens up the Format Cells dialog box. I see date. I have all the date options. So if I wanted the long date, it would give me the day of the week spelled out, the month, the day, and the year. I can scroll down, and I'm going to choose the March 14th, 2012. That is just showing the format. That's not showing the date. I select it, I hit OK, and it's formatted. These little pound signs are number signs, or you call them now hashtags, just means there's not enough room to display a number. Again, remember, a date's a number. So I'm going to just double click up here, size to fit, and I can now see all of my dates. When I'm working with time, let me go ahead and clear off the formatting, because time is also just a number. It's going to show us a percentage of the day. Actually, let me type another one. So I'm going to type in 12. When I'm typing in when I'm typing a time, I need to put a space and then the AM or PM. Notice I can type my PM or my AM lowercase. I know I have it correct. It appears uppercase, and also time, just like dates and regular numbers, always on the right-hand side of the cell by default. So when I select these different times, and I go up and I take it to a general number format, what you're noticing is a percentage of the day, percentage of the day. And so because I put on this one 12 a.m., that's the beginning of a day, so it's just the start, so it shows a 0. Let me click undo here. Instead of 12 a.m., let me change that to a p.m. Again, clear the formatting, so just making a general number. You can see from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m., that's half of our day. So you see the 0.5 or 50% of our day. And so time, again, important when we work with calculations. And next week we'll start doing a few formulas, and so I'll show you a couple of date and time formulas. So for now, how do I format time if I don't like the look of this? Same way we went to do dates. Launch the number group. Go to time and pick the time. So when you come down to time here, we can even do seconds. And I just want the time that format that already exists. And we're good. So that's a little bit about number formatting and date and time formatting. Thanks.